So let's talk about variables in Python. The very first thing to know is we actually assign different values to our variable using equal sign, and this is our assign operator. Uh, we have different types of variable: integers, float, string, boolean, list, dictionary, and there are many different variables other than these that I mentioned, but these are actually our very most commonly used variables. Let's start here. Integers are actually whole numbers that don't have any decimals, like our float numbers. Integers are whole numbers. They can be negative, positive, zero. And there's another type which is called float. Float is going to be our decimal numbers. After that, we have a string. A string is actually a collection of different characters that are actually chained together. And for example, here we got the T, after that we got the H, E, space, B, and goes on. The reason we call them strings are the characters are actually combined together like a string. Uh, One different thing from our other variables is that whenever we want to assign a value to our string, we have to use double quote or single quote, and the reason is that the compiler needs to actually differentiate between the name, like the string, and the value here. Wherever there isn't any string, it's going to say, okay, this is going to be my name, and whenever there is double quotation marks, whatever is between them is going to be actually some value that the type is going to be string. You also can use single quotes instead of double quotes. They're actually the same. Other than that, we got a boolean type. Boolean is going to always be 1 or 0, true or false. So our list is going to be a collection of different values, different items, and it's very similar to our string, but in string we had different characters that are chained together, but inside the list we got different variables, different values, different items that are chained together. And in our very first position we got apple, which is a string, orange, which is also a string, we got 99, which is an integer, and true, which is a boolean. And same thing happens with dictionary, but instead of having just one item, we got two items and we call them key. Very first item is going to be our key, and second item is going to be the value of that. The difference between list and dictionary is in our list we only can access our values by knowing the position of our value inside our list. For example, if we want to access true, it's going to be the fourth item inside our list. But inside dictionary, we only need to we only need to know the key. For example, if you only want to uh, get some information about the name of the person, we can just call the name, and it's going to show us the value of the name, which is going to be David. And you can just assign different types of variables inside dictionary and lists. And at the end, whenever we are confused about what the type of our variable is, we just simply print out the type of our variable. The type is a built-in function in Python which actually shows the data type. We talked about float. It's going to show that yes, our result is float. Let's just also test it for our list. Yeah, it's gonna show list here. And that's a quick little tip for knowing what's the data type that we're working with.